So good morning dear cadets. So as you know, we are in the asexual reproduction, and in asexual reproduction means how many ways asexual reproduction is taking place in the plants I have explained you, isn't it, roughly. So just see, vegetative reproduction, basically they are natural and artificial, two types. So in case of natural, what is there? With the help of roots, carrot you might have seen, stems, ginger, potato you might have seen, and yesterday I have explained how leaves, bryophyllum, yesterday only I have given you the example. Auxiliary buds, through auxiliary buds also propagation can be happened. So just see, whatever study I have explained. Now let us have more refinement of knowledge with the help of extra marks video. Okay, now you will get the complete idea about the all those types of asexual reproduction: budding, spore formation, fragmentation, and this one propagation, means this vegetative propagation, natural and artificial. So let us see that one. So dear cadets, now just see one video of vegetative propagation.
Unlike higher animal cells, all plant cells are uniquely bestowed with the capability to grow and form another mature plant under favorable conditions. This property of plant cells is utilized by horticulturists or plant growers to raise a new plant from any of its vegetative parts. Such procedure is called vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation or clonal propagation is a form of asexual reproduction in plants. The vegetative parts or structures of a plant, such as root, stems, and leaves, which give rise to an independent plant, are called vegetative propagules. Vegetative propagation has been used by plant growers since earlier times. Later, different methods like grafting and micropropagation were developed for many useful plants. The process of vegetative propagation reduces the time required to obtain a mature plant. Some very useful plants, like certain rare varieties of oranges, are sterile and do not produce any seeds. Thus, propagation by cutting is useful for such plants. In comparison to the other methods, propagation by stem cutting has the widest application. A healthy green stem that has not yet become woody is cut from the mother plant with the help of sharp scissors. The piece of the stem should be 20 to 30 cm long, and it should also have 3 to 4 nodes. Leaves near the bottom of the stem are removed, and the stem is then cut diagonally, which gives more area to develop the roots. Cut should be just below the root of the stem. Soil is put into a pot, and cuttings are planted gently in it. The soil mixture should contain adequate amount of gravel, coarse sand, and perlite to ensure good drainage and aeration. Cuttings are watered and kept in bright indirect light. These cuttings soon develop roots and grow into new plants. New plants thus formed are identical to the parent plant. Most of the times, roots are not easily produced in the cuttings, and hence the cut pieces are dipped into the root, promoting chemicals or hormones such as indole butyric acid (IBA) and naphthalene acetic acid (NAA). Vegetative propagation is cheaper, easier, and a rapid method of multiplication. The significant advantage of vegetative propagation is that all the features of a plant can be retained in the offspring without any change or variation.
Okay, so dear cadets,
Unlike higher animal cells, now let us test what you have learned till now. Which vegetative part is used to propagate ginger? The options are A. Leaves, B. Roots, C. Stems.
okay, so what is the correct answer for this one? Ginger is an example of modified stem which have distinct nodes, internodes and auxiliary buds. New shoots arises from the vegetative buds which later separate to form new plant. The stem cuttings include the nodal regions and also give rise to a new plant when planted. So why I am showing this one? Just try to understand. Whenever we are planting potato or ginger, so we should plant in such a way that those nodes should be there. If those nodes are not present, then you will not get the new plant. That is why while cutting also those nodes should be present in the cut part. Okay, so now
budding, the
Now.
process in which a bud arises from the parent's body and then gives rise to a new individual is called budding. Yeast, a unicellular organism, produces new yeast cell by budding.
okay, so starting only I told you the buds. So what is there? The process in which a bud arises from the parent's body and then give rise to a new individual is called budding. So now this one, yeast is a unicellular organism. It reproduces through the budding only. Okay, yesterday I explained this one. Today again you can note down this one.
Let us learn more about reproduction by budding with the help of the following animation. Budding is a type of asexual reproduction in which a small projection called bud of the parent's body separates from the rest and differentiates into a new individual. Let's study the basic mechanism of budding, taking the example of yeast. Budding in yeast involves the formation of a reproductive unit called a bud. Bud enlarges and assumes the characteristics of the parent organism. A bud may get separated from the parent body or it may never separate. With respect to their place of origin, buds are two types: external buds, internal buds. Buds arise from the surface of the parent's body as in case of hydra. When the hydra reaches maturity during favorable period, orbitals of the animal's body wall begin to form due to mitotic activity of endodermis. A rounded growth projecting from the tube-like section or stalk of the adult's body is formed. Initially, the bud is solid. Soon, coelenteron is formed and bud becomes hollow. Mouth and tentacles are then formed. Whereas the internal buds are formed within the parent's body. Such buds occur in freshwater sponges and are called gemmules. A gemmule consists of small groups of cells surrounded by a protective coat. Under favorable conditions, each gemmule germinates into a sponge.
Okay, so dear cadets, I hope that you have got the budding. Now next type of
Fragmentation. During fragmentation, an individual breaks into pieces called fragments. Each of these fragments gives rise to a new individual. Spirogyra, a green algae having a ribbon-like structure, is best studied example of fragmentation.
So dear cadets, yesterday I taught you 4 types of asexual reproduction. First one is the vegetative propagation, second one is the budding, third one is the fragmentation, fourth one is the spore formation. So yesterday only I explained in a brief all these types. Today what I am doing, now with the help of animation and videos, I am explaining all those things. So don't think that this is extra in the syllabus. Everything is there. Only yesterday I did the explanation part. Today I am showing with the help of animations. Okay. And the points also you can write. Okay. So this is the fragmentation. During fragmentation, an individual breaks into pieces called fragments. Each of these fragments give rise to a new individual. Spirogyra, that is the best example. That is one type of alga which reproduce through fragmentation. Okay. Now next type.
Let us learn more about fragmentation through the following animation. Fragmentation is an asexual mode of reproduction that occurs in plants as well as in animals. In plants, fragmentation is commonly seen in green filamentous algae like Spirogyra. Spirogyra is seen floating in freshwater bodies like ponds, springs, lakes, etc. They appear as slimy, filamentous green masses. Fragmentation is a mode of reproduction in which the body of an organism splits into fragments, and each fragment is capable of developing into a new organism. In Spirogyra, fragmentation occurs due to mechanical stress or dissolution of septa. When the temperature or the pH of the water changes, then the intercellular septa dissolves and the Spirogyra breaks into fragments. Each fragment develops into a new filament. This process of fragmentation continues and mass of Spirogyra covers the surface of stagnant water in ponds. Liverworts and mosses are some other examples of plants that can reproduce by fragmentation.
Okay. So dear cadets, in this way fragmentation is also over.
Spore formation. Reproduction of fungi is the well-studied example of spore formation. Certain plants, such as ferns and mosses, reproduce by spore formation.
The most important type of asexual reproduction is by spore formation. Several organisms like fungi, bacteria, plants, etc. reproduce by the process of spore formation. In bacteria, a spore is dehydrated, multi-shelled structure that protects and allows the bacteria to endure and exist under adverse conditions. It is also called endospore. Reproduction in fungi by spore formation is a well-studied example of spore formation. During asexual reproduction in bread molds like Rhizophorus and Muga hypae produce clumps of red stalks called sporangiophores. The tips of sporangiophores form the sporangia. Thin-walled haploid spores are produced within the sporangia. When favorable conditions arise, the spore case bursts open and releases multiple spores in the end. A spore is very light in weight, hence it is easily carried away by wind and water and reaches the substratum where it gives rise to a new individual. Among plants, ferns produce distinctive structures on the lower surfaces of the fronds. These distinctive structures are called surae. They contain sporangia that contains spores. When a sporangium breaks, the spores are released and get dispersed by wind. When a spore lands on a suitable substratum with favorable environment, it grows and forms a tiny plant called gametophyte. Thus, in biology, a spore is the unit of asexual reproduction. It is a reproductive structure that is well adapted for survival during unfavorable conditions and which germinates to form new organism on the arrival of favorable conditions.
So dear cadets, in this way all the processes of asexual reproduction. How many types of asexual reproduction are there? 4 types. Vegetative, budding, fragmentation, spore formation. Everything is over. Now this is the time to give you some questions. Explain the process of natural vegetative propagation. Natural means with the help of root, with the help of stem, with the help of leaves. You have to explain that process. One line you should write here. Nothing is there. First you tell what about the natural vegetative propagation. Then take the one example of ginger, potato, bryophyllum leaves and explain that one. Okay. What is budding? Okay. You know what is the budding? And now explain it. And try hard to make the diagram also. Okay. Study only diagram I have made. Simple diagram. And it means 3-4 lines, not more than that. Now what is the fragmentation? Just you explain the fragmentation. Explain it means definition and some more lines, 1-2 lines. And if possible, make the diagram also. In the book also, NCERT book diagram is given. And for both case, you can take the help of NCERT book or some other online, website to get the diagrams. Okay. So in this way, your asexual reproduction is over. Tomorrow onwards, I will teach you the sexual reproduction. Thank you.